Like GT Goku, Master Roshi can cancel into the third hit of his auto combo faster on whiff now, and there's extra range to it as well. However, unlike GT Goku, this isn't a throw, it's a hit grab, so the opponent is simply going to block this one. Still, with the increased range, I suppose it means that Master Roshi could potentially mash out his light auto combo in an effort to try and poke at the opponent or close the gap. This is primarily here to allow Roshi to go into his light auto combo series and catch the opponent still if they try to reflect. Compare that to before. You died if this happened to you as Roshi, so now he's able to avoid the situation while committing to his light normal chain. Master Roshi can now Gatling from his 5 heavy into his 6 heavy and 3 heavy. This opens up new pressure sequences for him, as well as combo routing in particular. You can now change the behavior of his 5S by holding down the button. Regularly, it's 17 frames startup and -5 on block. If you charge it, it takes an extra 10 frames, so 27 frames startup, but then Master Roshi here is +5. In addition to that, you can now perform his 6H after image after it as well. Again, this opens up potential combo routings as well as pressure sequences for Master Roshi to explore. Like the rest of the cast, Master Roshi can cancel his jump specials into jump heavies now. I don't really foresee this being useful outside of adding in some ki blast worth of damage and meter build into his combo routing. You'll note that it's not particularly good for any of his pressure sequences. You're -12 here. Though you can still special cancel, so maybe there's still something else to be explored here. Just to give you a demonstration. Master Roshi's after image attack can now connect against an opponent while they're in midair hit stun. This opens up potential new side swap routes for the character to explore. In line with the rest of his Gatling changes, he can now Gatling his 3 heavy into his 6 heavy. On hit, this doesn't seem particularly useful, but on guard, it means that no matter what normal Roshi is doing, he can always threaten a 32 frame cross-up. Turtle Orb, his 6S, has several changes to it. Before we get into them, let's go ahead and look at how this move behaved before. It traveled at a fixed angle every time. It was good at catching jumps, but outside of that, not really anything useful for neutral. At point blank range, you could do the follow-up 6S as well, but it wouldn't combo. So basically, this was used to poke at neutral like this. And your confirms were going into special cancels or potentially a vanish as well. It felt pretty mediocre as a neutral tool overall and served as some combo filler, I think, at various moments for Roshi. In addition to that, it was also incredibly negative on block. -15, as you can see here. Now, this move has been completely juiced up. The additional attacks are faster on startup and have more hit stun as well, and you can change the position of the initial projectile by holding up or down. By holding up, it goes massively upwards, able to catch some super jump heights. If you hold down, it's able to hit a standing opponent. And with the increased hit stun, as well as the faster startup rate, this actually just self-combos into itself. You'll have to note, though, that the inputs with it are a little tricky. If you continue to hold down, you're going to get Roshi's flipped attacks instead. So you have to let go of down and hold forward to get the follow-ups. Just be aware of that execution error. On block, it's now -7. This means that it's a little safer to throw out here in these potential strings, but this namely is here to demonstrate just how much less recovery there is to the move. Nearly half of it has been shaved off. The final change to it is a pretty important one, I would argue, as now you're able to Gatling into after image, which has been made so that it's able to hit against an airborne opponent. As you can see, you could pick up a full combo from this, actually. In my own bit of testing, I have been able to find success into getting this combo to link when you do the follow-up to Turtle Orb. So it feels like you have to throw out the first hit, and then you can get the follow-up with after image. This change opens up tons of new potential combo routing ideas for Roshi. I'm not sure how optimal this is, but it certainly looks cool. Courtesy of Omega X on Twitter, we're able to see that Roshi has new mid-screen loops as well. I think there's a lot of potential here for these to start becoming Roshi's new basis for his bread and butters. I don't think I'll be able to demonstrate this, but there was a bug fix to the medium version of his Wise Warrior special attack. Sometimes super attacks would be performed on a hit on the ground under certain conditions unintentionally, so it's nice to know that you can now go for this move in some of your combo routings and not accidentally cut it short with the super. If any Roshi mains want to sound out in the comments below to explain when this would occur, we'd appreciate it. Roshi's A assist has faster startup now. In the old patch, it was pretty slow for a beam at 35 frames startup. In the new patch, it's actually pretty cracked. It's 23 frames startup. I think this is probably the fastest beam assist in the game now. His C assist also has faster startup as well. In the old patch, it was 35 frames startup. It had higher than average block stun, however, at a full 60 frames. This is about 5 frames more than you see from most strike C assist lariats that are able to lock the opponent down for an extended period of time. Now, like other C assists, it's a 23 frame startup. It is pretty amusing to me that both of these assists, his C and his A assist, had the same exact change in their startup done to them right now. I think at this point, it's a pretty viable between all three assists as to which one you want to run. That's going to be dependent on the team comp and what your other character is going to need from it. I think A assist is good because it's a fast Kamehameha style assist that has just tons of generic utility. B assist still isn't what it used to be because of the gaps to it as well as the reduced armor frames on it, but it can still be good for some lockdown assist stuff if you need that one as well. That being said, C assist might be the go-to if you're looking for a true lockdown, as it does have 60 full frames of block stun. However, the longer cooldown as well as the lack of armor on it may find it a little more unappealing for some people who want to have a stronger scramble assist. Master Roshi, I think, appreciates pretty much all the buffs that he received in this patch. His ability to call out reflect-proof strings as an auto combo is something that he certainly appreciates, as before, if he tried to go for any sort of auto combo pressure, he would be put into a death sentence. And now, at the very least, he has an option select to deal with that particular situation from coming out, which he greatly appreciates. He has new Gatling routes to explore because of the changes to several of his normals, as well as tons of new combo routes and potentials with the Turtle Orb changes, making it probably a cornerstone part of his kit overall, I would say. And all of his assists being buffed means that I think he actually has tons of utility to offer across all teams. However, just due to the character design itself, I don't think a lot of people are going to be picking up Roshi, as, you know, he's in a game of Dragon Ball and no one wants to play as the old weird pervert, except for some people who really ignore the aesthetic aspect of the character and look solely at the kit, which is a very unique and cool kit for Dragon Ball fighters, and I'm happy that he's in the game in the way that he is. We'll see if anyone wants to mess around with him.